Hey YouTube, it's Zion Prepper, and I came across a very interesting article today about FEMA, and the article was published on December 28th, 2011 by the Associated Press, and basically FEMA wants their money back. Imagine that. Now, the article explains that FEMA mailed out 83,000 debt notices to Hurricane Katrina victims of 2005. So a debt notice, right? Hey, you owe us money. And this is what FEMA is mailing out to victims of the Katrina in 2005. And what they're seeking to recover is $385 million that FEMA feels, these victims owe them. Now, FEMA is claiming that the money was improperly paid to the victims of Katrina. But check this out. They're also saying that victims of Rita and Hurricane Wilma also owe them money. Now, the statistics show that it averages out to about $4,622 per victim who receive FEMA money, or 5% of the $8 billion that FEMA distributed during these natural disasters. Now, it's funny to note that FEMA is acknowledging that some of the mistakes were theirs, and they're saying, hey, we made clerical errors as well as failing to interview applicants. So imagine that. We're giving you money, and we put maybe one too many zeros on it, but we're going to give it to you anyway, or we don't even interview you. Here, fill out this application, we'll give you money. Now, last week, Congress approved legislation that would allow FEMA to waive many of the debts, and President Obama signed the measure, which is part of the $1 trillion spending package, and so that became effective on Friday. So now they're saying, Obama's saying, okay, look, FEMA says you owe us money, but we're going to pass a bill that maybe makes you not pay as much. Now, Senator Mary L. Landrieu, she's a Louisiana Democrat, she sponsored the provision, and basically she's saying, hey, we're not going to punish the recipients of FEMA money because FEMA was, and let me quote her, dysfunctional. So you have a senator literally calling FEMA dysfunctional. Yeah, I know, we all do that as well, but her light just came on. And she also says that FEMA is getting better because they've reduced their error rate from 14% to less than 1%. Imagine that. Now, the article goes on to explain that FEMA is also trying to recover money prior to 2005. So it didn't say what year, so I imagine probably since 1842, FEMA's trying to collect money. About 2,500 victims have appealed their debt notices, and around 30% have had some debt erased. So they've appealed, they've not had their debt eliminated, but some of it erased, which I guess helps. And there have also been class action lawsuits over FEMA's decision to end the housing subsidies for the storm victims, and to recover some of the alleged overpayments. And so, people are class action lawsuits. Many people get together and say, hey, FEMA gave us this. We don't owe them the money back, and here's why, and the judge will decide. But in this case, FEMA later paid more than $2.6 million to settle the claims over the class action lawsuit, and I'm sure it's one of these things where they admitted, hey, we're not guilty, but we're going to give you the money. So, there it is. FEMA wants their money back. No surprise, but I did find it fascinating. So, Zion Prepper saying I hope you enjoy it, and have a great day.